Hi guys, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how you can make this 1/12 scale rustic Scandi style table from my easy to assemble kits. I've designed a range of miniature kits, so this one and others are available to purchase through my website steveputnam.com. Simply follow the step-by-step instructions to create your own realistic miniatures to paint and finish in your own style. So let's get started and see what tools and supplies you'll need to create this in the comfort of your own home. You'll need wood glue. I use Gorilla Glue as my favourite brand, but any wood glue will be fine. You'll need a scalpel, Stanley or craft knife. You'll need toothpicks or cocktail sticks. You'll need sandpaper. I use anything from 100 to 150 grit, and then a much finer paper which is about 180 grit for some of the finishings at the end. You'll need ready mixed filler. I use this one because it's lightweight and quick drying, and then a range of brushes in this kind of size and some older ones which are frayed, which are really good for wood grain effects. You'll also need a range of acrylics in varying shades of brown like this for the base coat of your piece of furniture, and I'm going to be painting mine blue, so I've got a range of blue acrylics for the top coat. So your kit will come in a sheet of pieces much like this, where they are still joined by tiny tabs. So we're going to use a Stanley or craft knife just to cut through those tabs so we can pop the pieces out like so. So once you've removed all of the pieces from the pre-cut sheet, you can lay them out like so and just check off, make sure everything is there. There should be 2 cross supports, 2 leg supports, a tabletop and 2 under supports. So we can remove those and start with these 2 under table supports, which have 2 small tabs and 2 holes cut in the tabletop, which we're going to locate. So by adding a small dab of glue to the underside of that support, we're just going to pop these in place and locate them in position. So we can set this piece aside now and allow the glue to dry. Moving on to the base of our table, we're going to take the 2 X or cross supports and these supporting sections which go between the legs. There's also a middle section, as you can see, which pushes through, and this will have a tiny peg which will eventually hold this in place. So taking your wood glue and a cocktail stick or toothpick, we're just going to add a small amount of glue to each of those holes and locate these pieces in position. Just remove any excess glue while it's still wet with the cocktail stick or toothpick, and then we're going to repeat the same process on the other end of the table. So once all those pieces are located, you can take your tabletop and just make sure that the X pieces fit between those 2 under supports like so before we glue that in position. I'm going to just fix these 2 tiny pegs in place, so with a small dab of glue, and then push these wedge-shaped pegs in position to hold that centre bar in place. Now adding a tiny dab of glue to the top of each of those X or cross supports and just along the side that will touch those under table supports, I'm going to then offer that up in position. It's definitely better if you keep the tabletop flat like so, and once again this can be set aside and allowed to dry. So once the glue has dried on your table, you can now take your wood filler, and we're going to fill in these small tab sections on the tabletop. So I'm using an old kitchen knife here just to fill these sections, and I would definitely recommend slightly overfilling, as you do experience a slight bit of shrinkage with this filler, and also if you overfill, once you sand down, you'll then have a nice flush surface with the tabletop. Now I'm just rounding off the corners of my table as well, and rounding off any other edges on this piece of furniture because I want this to look like a really old rustic piece of furniture. So I'm also going to just take off the edges of the tabletop like so on the long and the short edge and just round these off. Now once that's done, you are ready for your base coat. So with my range of brown acrylics, I'm mixing a mid brown and I'm going to give this a base coat all over. I would definitely recommend at least 1 coat on all of the flat areas, and anywhere where there's cut or burnt edges like so, I would probably suggest giving these 2 coats. So once you're happy with your base coat and that's dry, you can then go in with your top coat. I've chosen blue, so I've got a range of blue acrylics here. I'm mixing a mid blue, and as you can see I'm using the side of a relatively old paintbrush, and I'm kind of using this in the direction of which the wood grain would go, and I'm kind of making a very broken paint effect. I definitely don't want this to look like a new piece of furniture. I want this to look like something that's got layers of paint that have worn away and it's been repainted over time. So I'm now going in with a much paler colour, as you can see, using the same kind of technique, and I don't mind if some of that base brown shows through, and again just repeating this on all the other sections of the table as well. So once that second coat is dry, I'm then using a much paler blue and almost dry brushing this over the top to add another kind of layer and dimension to this piece of furniture. So in 2 or 3 steps, as you can see, we've already created a rather convincing kind of rustic paint finish, but to my mind it still looks a little bit new, so I'm going to take my sandpaper and just start to rub some of that paintwork back on areas where this piece might take a bit more wear and tear. So definitely around the edges and also on the sides of the table and that bottom support where people might have put their feet over time. Sometimes it does work to almost sand in the opposite direction to the way you've painted, and you just want to expose some of that bare wood or that base colour that you applied earlier. Now finally I'm going to mix a brown and black acrylic wash in a diluted mix, and using a very fine brush I'm just going to highlight around some of these detailed area, like this central support with the peg, underneath the table supports here, and also just under the tabletop like so. And areas like this where people would have put their feet over time, you can rub this with your finger just to soften it down. And I'm also highlighting these peg details because this is actually how this piece of furniture would have been constructed, so it's quite nice to highlight some of those details. And finally I'm just going to highlight around the edges and the corners of the tabletop. Now there's definitely no right or wrong way to this paint effect, so do whatever you think looks realistic and convincing. So that's your rustic Scandinavian style table completed, and you can display this however you like. Well, that's it folks. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if this has inspired you to get creative, then please do hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Steve Putnam Design, for future updates.